Mohannadi, General Commissioner of the State of Qatar Pavilion, as well as Mr. Abdelbasit El-Aji, Deputy Chairman of the EXPO Committee. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Abby Chen, Vice President of Business Development at the Qatar Financial Centre. I'm your host of this event. On behalf of the QFC, thank you to everyone for joining us today at EXPO 2020 Dubai for our event, Expand Your Sports Business to Qatar. A warm welcome to our virtual audience as well. Today, we'll explore how you can take advantage of the wealth of opportunity in Qatar's sports market. First, you will hear from Aspire Zone Foundation about the sports infrastructure and programs available in Qatar. A big thank you for the team for joining us today and for your support. Next, you will hear more about how the QFC could support your journey to expand your business to Qatar. This year, Qatar is making sporting history as the first Middle Eastern nation to host the World Cup. Surely you'll want to support your favorite team at the World Cup. Just by show of hands, how many of you have made a bid for the World Cup tickets? Yes, sure, myself as well. So the fact that Qatar is awarded to host this very special sporting event goes to show that it's a testament that the world has confidence in Qatar's infrastructure and sporting capabilities. Qatar is also expecting the FIFA World Cup 2022 to further enhance the country's sports sector and create a $20 billion boost to its economy, creating even more opportunities for companies operating under different industries. Without further ado, let's hear how the sports sector is developing in Qatar. I'm pleased to introduce Leila Al-Jafari, Vice President of Business Development at the QFC, to share more. Leila, please.
Thank you, Abby. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to welcome you all into this interactive session, which was organized to encourage sport leaders and sport businesses to connect and explore the opportunities we have for growth in Qatar. Sport and the global businesses surrounding it have become one of the most influential corporate entertainment industries, especially in the past decade. An industry report of the sector viewed the sport market as the second largest segment in the global recreation market in 2018. Today, the rapidly evolving sport ecosystem spans the field of play from the food to media rights and sponsorships. The Middle East is seen to be one of the fastest growing regions in the sport market, driven by the emergence of esports, rising sponsorships, economic diversification, and increase in the internet accessible devices and interactive technology usage. A PwC sports survey published back in 2021 predicted that the Middle East industry will grow by 8.7% over the next 3 to 5 years, despite the setback to live events because of the pandemic and the COVID-19. Qatar has a 20 billion sport ecosystem and has long been on a journey to become a hub for international sporting excellence. Developing the sports sector is clearly expressed in the Qatar National Vision 2030. Which provide a long-term strategy for achieving economic diversification. In 2010, Qatar became a household name after being awarded the FIFA World Cup 2022 hosting rights. Since then, Qatar continued to develop infrastructure for one of the biggest games in the world to promise to deliver a carbon-neutral mega event. Since 2012, the state of Qatar has designated every second Tuesday as a sporting national holiday to promote an interactive and an active participation in sport among its population. Qatar has a strong track record in sport, having hosted more than 500 sporting international events for the past 15 years, developing the sport talent and constantly investing in the world-class training facilities. In 2021 alone, Qatar hosted a different range of international tournaments and sporting events, including FIFA Arab Cup 2021 and the first ever Formula One Qatar Grand Prix, among others. The country has also signed a 10-year deal to host Formula One starting from 2023. According to Burson, Cohn and Wolf's ranking of sports cities 2020, which evaluate the performance of cities in hosting sporting events, Doha made it to the top 50 and was the only and the first Middle East to feature in this report. Furthermore, the Global Sport Nation Index ranked Qatar as the first in the Arab world among the top 20 also countries worldwide. This ranking reinforced Qatar's position as an attractive business destination, not just for global sports companies, but even for those in the sport sectors. In order to develop and strengthen the local economy, Qatar Financial Centre has adopted a strategy to encourage investment in the sport cluster. The success of the QFC in attracting and increasing number of innovation sport tech firms is a testament to the growth of the sport industry in the region. The QFC platform has selected sport as one of its focus cluster, promoting opportunities in various areas of this sector, and has developed a robust partnership with several local organizations to enable startups and new firms to grow in Qatar. We have also the Spire Zone Foundation, which has set up the Sport Accelerator using the Qatar Financial Centre platform, which is a sport-focused hub, and it is the first of its kind in the region. It works with Qatar Development Bank to support Qatar sport techs for local and international startups. QFC is constantly exploring opportunities to drive economic diversification and growth. This effort opens opportunities to and from strategic partnerships and agreements that will serve Qatar needs in years to come. Thank you once again for joining us today, and now I'm gonna play a short video about Qatar. Thank you.
Are you ready to grow your business? Venture into one of the strongest and fastest growing economies in the world, Qatar.
Doing business in Qatar is easy, efficient, transparent, and getting simpler by the day.
Get unparalleled market access and support by setting up at Qatar Financial Centre. 100% foreign ownership and many, many other benefits.
Thank you, Leila, for the very insightful opening remarks and for sharing a very engaging video about Qatar. Now that we have some idea about the current trends in the sports sector and Qatar's business environment, we shall hear from Faisal Fahad Zainal, Project Manager, CEO Office at Aspire Zone Foundation, to talk about the value proposition Qatar and Aspire have to offer to companies who wish to establish operations in Qatar. But first, we'll watch a video about Aspire.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to be here to talk about the organization that I'm very proud to represent, the Aspire Zone Foundation. Although the video is very informative, hopefully I'll walk you through what makes us a very unique sports city and explain how we can do business together, hopefully, and you can expand your business in Qatar. So, the Aspire Zone is quite unique because it was born out of the 2006 Asian Games as a legacy project. It started with the Aspire Academy, which I'll walk you through in a moment, but today our vision is to be a reference in sports excellence worldwide. So the Aspire Academy, I'll actually skip this slide. The Aspire Academy is where it all started. We essentially develop athletes, Qatari athletes, to compete on the national level. Our fruit of our labor today has been shown through the 2019 Asian Cup winning team. 80% of that team was Aspire graduates, Aspire Academy graduates. On top of that, we have, of course, Mu'taz Barsham, who won a gold medal in the last Olympics, and he was an Aspire Academy graduate as well. The way it works is we screen practically all the boys in Qatar. We have partnerships with all the education institutes in Qatar to screen all of the boys who are under 8. And they develop with us. We, of course, filter them and select the best and most talented. And they develop with us all the way till 18. And the key thing here is that we call them student athletes because we provide a fantastic education. We have an international school where the boys, 70% of our graduates end up going to higher education. And of course, the others end up competing for our national team. We, of course, acquire and choose the best talent when it comes to even our human capital. Our coaches, namely, have worked for big organizations like Manchester United, Real Madrid, Chelsea, to name a few, and and that's also reflected on the success that we've had on the pitch. One of the ways that we would like to do business and how we're forward-facing with doing business with companies is with regards to sports performance, especially when it comes to the academy, that is. We monitor, like I said, all of the boys and all of the leagues, rather, in Qatar, from the first division all the way down to the lower leagues. And that's very unique. It doesn't exist in many corners of the world. And so, therefore, we have a lot of opportunities when it comes to sports performance and data. We have a lot of bespoke agreements with companies like SAP, for example, to create performance tools dedicated to the academy. Our next business unit is Aspire Logistics. Aspire Logistics manages all the venues of the 1.2 million square meter campus that you saw. Naturally, we've got experts now in venue management, and now are being utilized for the 2022 FIFA World Cup, where we are the largest service provider for facility management and venue management. One of the key areas that we work with businesses is when it comes to training camps. As you can see, we've had some huge teams come and train in Qatar. Many of them come yearly, the names like Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United as well. We've had them come many times, and as I mentioned, this is a huge opportunity for us to do business with companies all around the globe. And finally, Aspitar is perhaps our most international-facing organization. It's our sports medicine hospital. It employs roughly 800 people, for example, and has 25 beds, to give you an idea of just the 5-star service that we provide. It's an IOC, International Olympic Committee accredited hospital, as well as a FIFA accredited hospital. If I'm not mistaken, it's the only one in the world that has both accreditations. And again, one of the huge opportunities we have here is research agreements. We have huge research agreements with some of the biggest retailers in the world, unfortunately cannot be named, but around product development, specifically on developing boots for female players at the moment, or developing technology for hot climates, which of course Qatar and this region has. I'm going to walk you through some of our assets. Aspire Zone is home to the Khalifa International Stadium. It's one of the stadiums for the FIFA World Cup. It's the oldest stadium in Qatar, perhaps the one that we're most proud of, and it's going to host. It's hosted many international friendlies like Brazil and the UK, Spain and Uruguay, as well as all of these events that I've mentioned up here: Asian Games 2006, the 2011 AFC Asian Cup, and that 2021 Arab Cup. Oh, sorry, I'll go. And we also have the Hamad Aquatic Centre, which will be hosting the 2023 FINA World Championships, which is a large international event. And also, two things that make our organization quite unique is having 2 5-star hotels on site, which is again how a lot of these companies, or rather clubs, benefit, because they are basically training under one roof, and again, that's quite unique in the world. Finally, we manage Aspire Park. It's one of the largest parks in Qatar. It's part of our mandate to also serve the community, hence the name Aspire Zone Foundation. And again, we've hosted over 100 events in one calendar year. So that's a huge opportunity for companies who want to host events in Qatar, specifically in sport, to host it in Aspire and the park. And sustainability is very important to us. We are the only GSAS certified sports city in the world, meaning that much of our energy is solar powered. All of our running tracks are used from recycled tires, and as a result, as you can see, we're the only we're the only sports city in the world rather that has this certification. So my colleague Abdulaziz is going to be talking about the Sport Accelerator, so I won't cannibalize your presentation, Abdulaziz. But one interesting thing as well is what makes Aspire Zone unique is we have one of the largest and busiest malls in Qatar, the Villaggio Mall, which we're partners in, as well as community facilities like five-a-side pitches and of course the iconic 2022 building rather. So this is the Aspire Zone. It sits over, like I said, 1.2 million square meters. It's at the moment, what you can see has been developed, but what's also interesting to investors is that almost an identical size is going to be developed called Phase 2, and we're looking at third-party investors to develop that as well. So hopefully I've communicated how you can expand your business and do business with the Aspire Zone and potentially benefit from the opportunities in Qatar when it comes to sport from a leading sports institution. Thank you.
Thank you, Faisal, for the very informative presentation. I'm sure all of you now have a better understanding about what Aspire Zone has to offer. Next, we shall hear from Abdulaziz Salim Al-Hababi, Business Development Analyst at Aspire Zone Foundation, who will share more about the support for sports company at the Sport Accelerator, which is a pioneer sports business hub in Qatar's Aspire Zone. Abdulaziz, please.
Hello, Your Excellencies and distinguished guests. Thank you for your time. I'm Abdulaziz Al-Hababi from Business Development Department in Aspire Zone Foundation. Thank you for joining us today. I will introduce you to the Sports Accelerator, which was created under Aspire Zone Foundation with our partners, Qatar Financial Centre. The Sports Accelerator is a pioneering sports business hub in Qatar, located in the heart of the Aspire Zone, which Faisal has given you a good insight to. We want to bring together a variety of sports businesses under one roof, where we want to create an ecosystem that provides the best opportunity to accelerate your business in Qatar and the region. We have created an environment for our tenants in which they can conduct their business in a space that provides state-of-the-art facilities, including comfort zones, meeting rooms and conference rooms, concierge services, and F&B services. Spanning over 8,000 square meters, 2 floors, and a roofed garden, we have 80 affordable office spaces, starting from small offices between 16 to 20 square meters, medium offices between 60 to 120 square meters, and 4 anchor offices up to 300 square meters. Aspire Zone and our partners, Qatar Financial Centre, Qatar Development Bank, Ministry of Commerce, the Supreme Committee, and recently added Qatar Free Zone Authority, have put together our combined resources and services to support the sports businesses that wish to set up in the Sports Accelerator. Aspire provides the ideal location with our world-class sporting venues, major sporting events, and our business development team supports the tenants by providing advice and a network to open doors for your next big opportunity. Qatar Financial Centre provides the one-stop shop and seamless regulatory services the companies need to operate in Qatar, such as 100% ownership, plus waiving of fees if you should decide to open an office in the Sports Accelerator. Qatar Development Bank runs a sports tech startup accelerator program within the sports accelerator, adding to that full ecosystem, where a large company can benefit from the services of a startup or vice versa, all under one roof. Choosing Qatar and the Sports Accelerator as the location for your new office comes with the added benefits of world-class infrastructure, which all comes into play to ensure the success of your sports business and the well-being of your employees. As you can see, we've got world-class infrastructure in terms of Hamad International Airport, Qatar Rail. We are a global event center with Qatar Financial Centre and our other partners. We've got a very open business environment, vibrant hospitality sector within Aspire Zone and around Doha and Qatar. We are very strategically aligned with healthcare and living, very good education system, culture plays a big role, and obviously leisure. The Sports Accelerator already boasts a star-studded lineup of international, regional, and local sports businesses, building the ecosystem we planned, in which businesses and opportunities are being generated amongst them in terms of networking and the utilization of each other's services. And of course, with the help and support of Aspire, QFC, and our partners, we hope you can join our Sports Accelerator family. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Abdulaziz. Indeed, SME and startups are essential to creating a stable and knowledge-based economy. Any sports company or startups who are interested to tap on the Sports Accelerator support programs, please feel free to have a chat with Abdulaziz after this session. Finally, I will share more about the benefits for international companies to do business in Qatar. So this is where you find out more about Qatar's sports market and how you can tap on the opportunity. Early on, you hear from my colleagues about all the sports market, the trends and opportunities. And of course, the next step is to come to Qatar and take your business there. So who are we? For those of you who are familiar with Dubai, we are just like the Qatar's version of the IFC, except we're actually an onshore entity. This is the biggest difference. We are not a free zone. We are an onshore jurisdiction. And within our community, we have over 40 sports companies already registered with us. And we work with various stakeholders such as the Aspire Zone Foundation and other banks and incubators to support companies coming to Qatar. As you can see on the screen, we have a very strong sports ecosystem in Qatar, and we all work very closely as government, the sport organizations, and businesses form the sport governance ecosystem. There are also multiple users and federations, and of course, even the sports clubs themselves will work with us closely to grow this ecosystem. In terms of the actual opportunities in Qatar, you'll wonder which of the subsectors will work very well here. So first of all, we have medical and sanitizing. So you have heard that we have Espartar in Qatar. So within the healthcare system, Espartar is one of the top sports medicine hospitals in the world. So in this area, there are many medtech companies that will be interested to come to Qatar to expand the business. So we're keen to grow this area. In fact, we are also forming a community of esports companies in Qatar, and we will also plan to host tournaments in the future. Fourth, with marketing and media. With all these exciting events happening in Qatar, of course, there will be marketing and media companies coming to Qatar. Next is venue management. For all these tournaments and events and conferences around sports, there will be many opportunities around event management, such as logistics, operations, etc. Last but not least, we have ICT. So of course, we need to support the digital infrastructure, and there are many companies delivering digital solutions to support all the other verticals that you see on the screen. So why choose Qatar Financial Centre to set up your company? First, we offer 100% foreign ownership. So this is definitely something for foreign companies to think about. It's easy, you take full control of your company, you don't have to worry about not having full control. Second, we have a transparent legal environment. So we operate under the UK common law system. So for those of you coming to Qatar, it's easy for you to set up because it's easy to do business in Qatar and expand to other countries from Qatar. We also allow the companies to trade in any currency. So if you come to Qatar and you want to do business in US, in China, everywhere else in the world, you can trade in any currency and it's very easy. We also allow 100% repatriation of profits. We offer an onshore business center. So this is something that is really important to remember because we enjoy many double taxation treaties with other countries. And last but not least, we have a very good tax structure. So we have no income tax and only 10% corporate tax, which is very friendly compared to, let's say, Europe or even US. So to set up in Qatar is really easy. It's just 3 steps. So get ready your business plan, come to us, create an account, fill up the application form, and obtain your approval in as short as just 1 week. So why sports firm choose QFC to set up? So of course, we're one of the leading onshore business and financial centers in the region. We have a market full of opportunities, as you have heard from my colleagues. Competitive 10% corporate tax and 100% foreign ownership, as I have mentioned. Independent and transparent legal environment that operates under the UK common law. Easy setup and licensing process. And of course, we have a strong commitment to developing the sporting business industry. So there is no better time than now to take your business to Qatar. Thank you. And now I would like to open the floor to the audience for our Q&A session. Thank you. Any questions from the audience? I will also take questions from our virtual audience joining us digitally.
Hi, thank you all for the very insightful presentations. I would like to ask about the 10% corporate tax. Could you explain more about that? Because I think it's from what I read is that it's from locally sourced income, right?
Yes, that's right. Locally sourced profits. So example, if you set up your entity in Qatar and you do business with, let's say, somebody in Turkey or Greece whatsoever, and you send the invoice to the international company, this is known as international profits, and these will not be taxed.
Perfect. All right. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions?
First of all, thank you for the presentation and the clear details that with regard to the investment. However, from the QFC, if a foreigner wants to establish an office or a company and he would like to have a partner, a local partner, that will be possible as well?
Thank you for your question. Of course, yes, but then it won't be like restricted to 49, 51%. So it's up to them to choose 50-50, 70-30, but yeah, it's possible, of course.
Thank you.
Actually, and 30% of our companies are like purely Qatari companies. So it's open for local and international.
So the 100% is optional, let us say.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
I'm getting questions from the digital audience as well. So this is directed at Aspire. So how many startups have been supported by the Sports Accelerator, and could you share some success stories?
So, yeah, one success story, and I think it's worth mentioning because it's fantastic for us. We have a program that we're partners with, and it's called Qatar Sports Tech. As Leila mentioned, Qatar Development Bank are one of the key partners in that. And the purpose is to invest and incubate basically companies. And a success story is, and I hope he's watching, is Mohammed from Sponix. Sponix is a company that was valued at about $3 million when it entered the program, and obviously, depending on the valuation, we take a certain percentage for coaching, for networking, and for a free office in Qatar for 6 months. Upon graduating the program, and I hope he doesn't mind disclosing the details, but upon graduating the program, he was worth $30 million, so he did 10x in 6 months, and I'd like to think it was partly because of the QFC. And today, he's gone from strength to strength, taking one of our anchor offices in the Sport Accelerator. So a key success story of someone who went through the program and doesn't have to stay, and that's the case for many companies that get incubated, but chose to stay in Qatar and brand himself as a Qatari company. So, and today he's signing deals with huge companies around the world, and I urge you all to have a look at Sponix. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Another question coming in, this is directed at Aspire as well. So from the presentation you mentioned about Aspire Phase 2, could you share more information about what are opportunities around Phase 2, and is it open for foreign investment?
Yes, Aspire Phase 2 is an expansion of Aspire Zone. There is a master plan in place, and we are open to investment, locally and foreign, for the different clusters, which include residential, commercial, recreation, leisure. However, the master plan is in place, and we are also open to any proposals in which we feel it's within our core business and we can make a space for it, let's say. So yes is the answer.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any questions from the floor before I take more questions from the digital audience? No? Okay, another question. Okay, what are some of the grants or incentives available? Okay, I shall not answer my own question, so I let my colleague answer.
So yeah, so I just have to also to mention that the QFC is not only about sport. We have 4 different clusters: digital, finance, which is fintech, sport and media, and localization. Now we do provide incentives for digital and sport companies in a sense that we provide fee waiver. Like in a normal base, the cost is $10,000, but we are willing to waive this fee with the partnership we have with the Sport Accelerator and Aspire Zone. So if, let's say, for example, you are a sport-related company and you would like to have your office established under the QFC, easy, you can have your office with them, and then we can waive the $10,000 for the first year. The same goes to the digital, as we do also provide free offices 6 to 12 months with special also incentives. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, just checking. Okay, another question. This is directed at Aspire as well. So you mentioned that some of the famous football clubs that come to Aspire for training. So apart from football, like what other sports do you provide in terms of training facilities?
Well, we have basically a core portfolio of sports. So football is one of the primary ones, but we also focus on athletics, and that comes with all the ranges. So high jump, sprints, hurdles, etc. And then we have squash and table tennis as well. And then we are partners with a lot of the federations in Qatar, such as swimming and golf, where we provide healthcare support, aka physios, and also coaching support. So essentially all of the sports in Qatar we're at least partners with, but our core focus is the ones I mentioned.
Okay, thank you. Another question, this is also directed at Aspire. So, and this one I I'm not sure whether you can answer, but this is for Aspire, Espatar. So for Espatar, is known that is good for sports medicine. So in that area, how often does the hospital work with, let's say, other sports club or companies to develop the technology?
Yeah, so obviously with regards to sports clubs, perhaps I didn't mention it in the presentation, but we're partners with 3 sports clubs and federations. One is PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. The other one is Tottenham Hotspur, where we've treated a lot of their players, key players. And finally, the Algeria national team. And of course, we service the Qatar national team. So those are the primary ones. But that being said, we're open to partnering with many federations. That was kind of the key area, I think, where Aspetar can work with a lot of international companies and federations, is partnering with them, providing discounted or competitive pricing when it comes to medical services, etc.
Thank you. Any other questions from anyone in the room with us? No? If not, we will conclude this event. Feel free to network with the speakers. Now we open this room for networking opportunities. Thank you.